Hi, I'm Adriana from Tall Tail Equestrian. Today I'm going to show you how to make a betadine and sugar hoof packing to pack your horse's feet with. The purpose of this is to harden up the horse's foot. So let's say your horse has an abscess, like my horse does, or did a few days ago. The first thing that you'll do is try to draw out any of that infection by soaking it with an Epsom salt soak, or using an Animal Intex poultice pad, using some type of drawing agent like ichthymol and Epsom salt, anything to draw that infection out. Several days later, once the infection has been drawn out, then you'll want to proceed to the hardening phase. So your horse's hoof will be all mushy from all of the soaking that you've been doing, and you want to harden it back up so that it doesn't bruise again and thus create another abscess. There are a few things that you can use to harden your horse's foot with. One thing that I really like to use that you can buy readily at the store is magic cushion, but there is an even simpler way and a do-it-yourself way that is very old school and recommended by my veterinarian from long time ago, and that is to just use betadine or really any type of iodine and sugar, and you mix it together and you make a paste with it. So I'm going to show you how to do that.
You'll need some granulated sugar and some betadine. It's really easy. You just pour some betadine into the container that you have your sugar in, and start with just a little bit, because actually a little bit goes a long way, and what you don't want to do is make this mixture too liquidy, because then it will just kind of seep out of the wrap when you pack your horse's foot with it. So just use a little bit of it at a time, and then mix it in as you go, and kind of like mix it and test it and add a little bit more as you go. So finally, I've got this to the consistency that I want. And at this point, it's ready to be packed into the foot.
So this is Jet, and he has been suffering from an abscess recently. The abscess did rupture, which is exactly what we want. And now there's a hole, and all of the abscess fluid has leached out at this point. So now what we want to do is we want to harden this foot up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paste that I made with the betadine and sugar, also known as sugardine. Now, betadine or iodine will stain your hands, so it's advisable if you're worried about staining your hands. Usually I don't really care, but you'll probably want to use a glove. You'll take your sugardine paste. You don't want it to be too liquidy. See how it's like when you go to Dairy Queen and they tip the ice cream cone upside down? Woo! You don't want it to spill out. So you take a little bit in your hand and you just press it into the sole of the hoof. Kind of smush it all around in there. And then you want to be prepared with all of your tools and materials. So I've already cut a piece of a feed bag that's approximately the shape of the horse's foot. I'll put it on top there, and I'll take my vet wrap. I'm gonna hold his foot like this. I'll take my vet wrap, and I'm going to vet wrap over top of this. Now, one thing you want to make sure that you do not do is pull the vet wrap too tight, because you can cut off circulation to your horse's foot and thus causing other problems. So make sure that you kind of unroll as you go, and then don't pull it super tight. Very important. Vet wrap is a self-adhesion bandage, so it will stick to itself. Now, if you're going to turn your horse out, you'll want to make a duct tape pad and put it over top of this, or put a boot over top of this for them to be turned out with. If they're in the stall, this will probably be okay. If your stall is sufficiently bedded, they won't wear through this too quickly. But definitely if you're going to turn them out, this is not sufficient. You'll have to put duct tape over this or a boot. So you can leave this on for up to 24 hours, as long as your bandage will stay on. And then remove it, and your horse's hoof, you'll notice it will be significantly and very obviously a lot harder when you remove the sugar dine from the foot. And that will help in the recovery process. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more do-it-yourself horsemanship tips and tricks.